Good day, all. Ira Epstein of Linn & Associates with your metals market wrap-up, and this is for Tuesday, the 2nd of July, 2019, about 3:47 p.m. Central Daylight Time. An interesting day. This isn't a misprint. You're up $32.50 in the gold market right now. The stock market is sharply higher, good gains with everything except the Russell. The bonds and notes are sharply higher, and you've come down very hard in all the energy markets. Mike Pence was getting on an airplane headed to New Hampshire today, and the White House called him back for some emergency meeting, and he didn't go. Ever since then, the gold market has been rallying. I've heard no new news, don't know what's going on. We do know that Russia had a problem with one of its submarines. We know that some sailors unfortunately lost their lives putting out a fire, but Russia claims that sub has made it back to base. I don't know what's going on, neither do you probably, but we'll find out about it tonight. A $32 move in gold, that's a big move. And as you can see, the market is up sharp for the, not for the week, but up sharp for the day. It's up about $8 for the week at this point. This market came back and filled that gap. Yesterday we were talking, was the market going to be able to come in and fill the gap that it left right here? It most certainly did. Charts is a group typically fill their gaps. Now, the question is this enough where the market's going to get into these highs again and be able to run through them? Right now it hasn't. On the swing line, you still have the pattern of lower highs and lower lows. That's defined as a downtrend. It's broken if the market takes out 1427.80. That would give you then a lower low and a higher high, which is not a trend. That's a market that is negating the downtrend that's in place right now. The market was unable to make it to the 18-day average of closes since this rally today has set in. If the market gets through 1427.80, 1446, which is over this last high, is another resistance point, but that could mean you're on your way to $15 before it all gets done. It'd still be a resistance number, but something is brewing today to get this market up $32.50. And believe me, I've been all over the news wires. I can't find what it is. In the slow stochastics, you're back to overbought. Could this just be something in front of the July 4th holiday? It could be. Trading has gotten thinner, but $32 thinner? I don't think so. When we come over to GLD, I always go there and say, okay, anything happening? You can't go 100% by this because this is to a large degree based on what the futures do. They follow and lead each other from time to time. It took the leadership today because it got over the last rally high and it's already negated the downtrend, which the futures haven't done. Doesn't change the picture that it's overbought. Doesn't change the picture that you're void of a trend now. Doesn't change the picture that it doesn't look like the market's going to hold up, that you're going to get back to that 18-day average of closes anytime soon. So then I go look at the miners. Are they doing anything important? Well, today's high is 25.65. It too has negated the downtrend. So now you have the lower high, but a higher, right here, the higher high and the lower low. This market also comes into that question mark. So the bias is up in all of these markets, but they're not trending at this point in time, and they're all in overbought conditions. In the gold-silver ratio, gold's just leaving silver in its dust. You can see how the ratio's just exploding to the upside, and what silver's been able to do is an outside day to the upside on this. That's interesting. Where did it come in? If I come back from yesterday, you'd been under the 100-day average. Today you went to the 18, what I'll call that line in the sand. On the way back up, the market didn't even care about the 100-day. Now, the last important rally high was 1538.5. That is a number that I think you got to look at to see if you can get through. So far, today's high is 1536.5. That would negate this leg to the downside, but I really think today you can call it pretty well negated. It got down to that 18-day average and held beautifully. Copper. Copper's not looking to be part of this. Copper, I think, is stuck in that quandary of what about the U.S.-Chinese trade talks, which I still think won't go anywhere for a very long time. I'd love to be wrong on that, by the way. I think the world needs these two giants getting together. But you've got the higher high, the lower low. You're back under the 18-day average. Momentum down, bias down. if you let loose, you could be going back to the 262 level in this market. If you're going to start spinning, you don't make it down here and you start fighting against the 18-day average of closes. In the platinum, the market backed off, and right now you're back underneath the Bollinger Band top. As you can see, you had a couple of days over it. You got to the 100-day average, where again, I think the first challenge of the Bollinger Band, and if you exceed it to the 100-day, that's often an awful lot of resistance, and the market has backed off from that rather sharply, as you can see. The market that just keeps going its own way for these new highs is the Palladium market. It's got the embedded reading, a powerhouse of a market, not backing off at all. And in the dollar index, if we take a look right now, 96.32.5, the market is still over the 18 and the 100-day average of closes, in an uptrend, not getting a big bid. There's no safety bids coming in. So what the heck is going on in gold? I don't know just yet. But what about your trades? Well, I want you to look at this. Just think you're ready to place your orders and you're always doing what I do, at least. I question myself. I'm always wondering, are my trade selections making sense? Is what I'm telling the traders in the morning logical? And you can watch, as you know, my videos and charts on our handheld app, which, by the way, is part of my research. It's a $40 value. It's thrown in free for those of you that do get my research. So you start my mornings, 6 in the morning, I'm sitting there, I'm hoping you're having coffee. By the time you get up, my video should be ready. And we start covering 40 charts and about 5 ETFs. I'm obviously looking, before I even do this, for a touch of the fundamentals, what made these markets move, what's going on. Then I'm going to throw out what I think on the charts are good exit, entry, and objectives in the marketplace. My charts will look this way. They're going to be jet black. They're going to cover all these markets in a certain sequence. And yes, you can pull on the bottom. It'll drag you and tell you which area you're in on the chart to make life very easy. What does this involve? Well, it's my morning video. It's $7.95. I'll repeat it, $7.95 for the first 30 days. After that, if you want to go stay 30 days at a time, $15 every 30 days. Or you can buy a 1 year for $156, which is about $13 a month. How do you find out more and do all this? Just go to our website, www.iraepstein.com. You can call my staff. If you get to the website, go under education or research under Ira's morning subscriber video. It explains everything, and you can decide there what you want to do. I'm Ira Epstein. You have a good evening. We'll find out why this gold exploded today very shortly. You take care.